All right, guys, welcome back. Happy Saturday. We have 5 properties that we're going to be analyzing today that hit the market. So let's get right to it. All right, first things first, for our calculator, our deal calculator, if you're joining us on YouTube Shorts, it's going to be on the bottom part right here, right there, right there. And if you are joining us on regular YouTube, it's going to be on your right-hand side, so actually over this way. And on top of me, for both, you're going to see my live feed of the MLS and anything that I'm actually looking at to show you guys. So first and foremost, we want to look at the interest rates today. We use the interest rates as they were published last. The average 30-year fixed rate mortgage, right, in the United States the last week was reported at 6.38%. And that's right here, guys. You can see it, 6.38%, okay, right there, right? This has been since going back to December, right? We saw this dip happen right here, February 26th. That week, the average was below 6%. President Trump even spoke about this, okay? That being said, basically the war with Iran started right after that. So I guarantee you guys that as soon as that war ends, these interest rates drop. People like Grant Cardone are saying that this is going to drop to a 4.5%. Guys, if that happens, and we'll show you guys a couple of deals just so you can have an idea of what would happen, how good these deals are going to get if we do see a drop to 4.5. But we're going to have to keep something in mind, guys, and I'll show you what that is in this video coming up, because if you are going to wait for that to drop to 4.5, there's going to be some things that you're going to have to consider. All right, so that being said, let's take a quick look at the actual market itself. All right, this is what I always like to look at. How many new properties came onto the market in the last 7 rolling days? 1,964 homes hit the market in the last 7 days. How many saw a price decrease? Basically the same. This is a tendency that's been going on now for 2 days, where we've had less homes seeing a price decrease than homes coming onto the market, right? So that is, it's better, right? I'm not going to say it's great, because you're basically seeing as many homes are hitting the market as sellers calling their agents and saying like, hey, yeah, okay, let's drop the price a little bit more. All right. But obviously back in the day, guys, this bar right here where it says price decrease used to look like this one right here that says price increase, right? So the market's totally changed. It's no longer a seller's market. I mean, yeah, it's no longer a seller's market. It's a total buyer's market, at least down here in South Florida. I can tell you that I've seen the stats for Tampa, same stats. Okay, nothing's changed there too. It's actually a little bit worse. So for sellers, if you're a buyer, like this is your time right now, and even more so. And I'm going to go into why exactly it is that right now is the best buyer's market. And mark my words, guys, this is going to live on YouTube. I'm going to refer back to this because that's actually what's happening. So with that being said, let's take a look at the properties that have hit the market today in the last 24 hours. We're going to go to here, new multis in the last 24 hours, and click on that. You can see that there's 5 right here. Okay, we're going to go to YouTube, this little setting that I have for seeing these properties with you guys. And I like to sort this by price per square foot, starting with the most expensive. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. It could be a great product. All right, $552 a square foot. This is going to be a duplex in Miami-Dade County, and the price they're saying is going to be $725,000. So let's put that up here. Current taxes, they're paying $5,263 in taxes. That means that they probably purchased a property for like $200K. But and it's tiny. It's a tiny duplex, 1,312 square feet. They want a lot of money for this. Let's see if it's worth it. Okay, mind you guys, if you buy this at this purchase price, your taxes are going to triplicate. Okay, let's take a look at the pictures first. It's a pretty property. Unfortunately, there's only one freaking picture. Okay, only one picture. Let me try to blow it up for you guys. Oh, can't even blow it up. There you go. So they took it with their iPhone or something. Either way, let's look at the guts of the deal. Great opportunity to own a duplex near Silver Bluff, just minutes from Coconut Grove, Coral Gables in downtown Miami. Unit A is a 2-1, Unit B is a 1-1. They don't tell us how much you're getting for rent per month. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to give them the best estimate that we can. A 2-1, just so you have an idea. In Miami-Dade County, you can see it right here, guys. All right, this is information that I pulled up in this last couple weeks. So this is fresh information. A 2-1 median price in Miami is $2,300. This is in a better area of Miami. So let's say that for that convenience, another, what do you guys want to say? Like another $300, $2,600 for the 2-1. Let's put that up here. 2,600, right? And how much for the 1-1? Median is 1,600. Let's say you could get $1,900 for the 1-1. Okay, guys, this property doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's in the 1% rule. It doesn't even get to the 0.75. It doesn't get to the 0.7. Okay, you would barely be able to take out a loan on this, a DSCR investment loan at 25% down payment. You would barely be able to get that. You want to see this get to like a 1.1 at minimum. Banks really start lending you money and taking you very seriously when you get to a 1.25, right? And this basically means debt service coverage ratio. So there's loans out there, guys, that you don't have to show like your income statements. You don't have to show your tax statements. You don't have to show your W-2. You don't have to show like anything. All you got to show is like, hey, guys, this property could cash flow. Okay, this property could make money. And I have 25% down payment. And those loans are called DSCR loans, debt service coverage ratio loans. Okay, you could probably purchase this property using FHA, 10%, 20% down payment. Of course, you could, buy it using cash. But look at this, guys. It would take you, if you bought this using FHA, it would take you almost 16 and a half years before you see a nickel coming out of this property. Okay, by then there won't even be nickels. It'll just be straight dollars. It'll be like pennies in 16 years. All right, 10%. It'll be like, if you buy this with a 10% down payment, it'll take you 11 years before you see any money. And if you buy this even using a 20% down payment, it'll take you 4 years to start seeing some cash flow. Okay, so for that reason, this property is a big fat no. We'll keep looking. Whoops, sorry guys. What am I doing here? All over the place. All right. Next property up, but let's go ahead. Let's put that as a big fat fail. Next property up, we're in Palm Beach County. Okay. The property here is bigger than the last one, but it is $1.75 million, almost $2 million that they want for this property. They're currently paying $14,850 in taxes per year. And how big is it? It's 3,828 square feet. It's a duplex. Man, this better be like a 4-2 on each side. It's huge. Okay, let's take a look at the pictures. One picture again. It's crazy. People are trying to sell a $2 million asset almost, or what they consider to be $2 million, and they have the audacity to just put one picture. Let's look at the guts of this deal a little bit more. Man, it pisses me off when people do this. All right. A rare opportunity to own this prime East Boca duplex, brand new roof. Each unit offers 4-bedroom, 3 baths, kind of like I was telling you guys. Bright open spaces, modern kitchen, close to Meisner Park, FAU, top-rated schools, excellent, blah, 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 blah. All right, they're saying that they're, for the 4-2, one of them, they don't say how much they're getting in rent, but in the other one, they're saying that they get $3,800 in rent. We don't know what it looks like on the inside, so let's take them for their word. If it rented for $3,800 each side, how would this deal look? Okay, it's a terrible deal, right? Terrible deal, not worth it, right? So this almost $2 million duplex in Boca Raton is a waste of your time. Okay, it's an audacity to even put this up online. So for that reason, we're going to discard this property too. Okay, so these two are out of the running. Go ahead, discard them. And that's another property that is just a big fat fail. Okay, on to our third property. We're back in Miami-Dade. We're below $1 million, guys. So All right, paying $13,000 a month in taxes, a year in taxes. The duplex is 2,638 square feet. They're telling us that they're collecting $6,000 a month in rent, and they tell us that it's in the flood zone AH, which is not the best. Okay, so you're going to pay a little bit of a premium there in flood insurance. And right off the bat, this deal doesn't make any sense. Okay, but let's look at the guts of the deal, see if something was listed incorrectly. Let's take a look at the pictures here. Okay, stereotypical Miami looking house. Nice. Okay, the inside needs updating, so you're going to be spending some money to update this and bring it up to, to market conditions, comparable market conditions. Because believe me, that there's going to be units within a quarter mile of this house that are going to be rented, that are going to be totally renovated. Okay, they actually raised the price from 960 to 975. All right, guys. Well, let's look at the guts of this. They say great investment opportunity. False. This duplex features 2 separate units. The left unit offers a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and is currently vacant, making it ideal for owner-occupant or immediate rental. The right unit features a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and is currently occupied on a month-to-month rent. Tenant providing rental income. The property offers ample parking. So notice how they don't tell us how much the rental income is on the 2-2. Okay, the property is also on a septic tank, which is not ideal. But here's what I can tell you guys. Okay, based on the location, just again, average prices in Miami, a 2-2. Let's say you were able to get that to rent at $2,300. You might be able in this area of Miami for the 2-2 to be able to get 25, maybe 2,600. So let's just give them the benefit of the doubt. Whoops, benefit of the doubt here, 2,600. And the other one, they said that it's a 3-2. Okay, so for that 3-2, you could probably get, let's see here, the median is 3,000, but I think you could probably get like $3,500 for it. Even giving in the benefit of the doubt for this, it does not make sense, all right, at where it's currently at. So this is another property that would discard, another fail for today. So that's 3 out of 5 that we've analyzed, and 3 out of 5 that have failed. Let's see if, as we get down to the more affordable price per square feet, we start seeing a better deal. Okay, better product out here. Okay, these last 2 take us to Broward County. All right, the first one is going to be set at $899,000, so $900,000. All right, they're currently paying $35.15 in property taxes, mind you guys. And the reason I put these property taxes, guys, and not the updated property taxes is because unless the property taxes are so low that it's just ridiculous, which might be the case in this deal here, okay? The lender, right, when they're analyzing your package, right, when they're analyzing your deal, they're not going to look at what your taxes will be. They will look at the current taxes, okay? So that being said, this property is 2,713 square feet. It's a pretty big property. It's a duplex, okay? They don't tell us how much the rents are, and they tell us that it's a flood zone A, E, and X, okay? Yeah, so that means that you're probably gonna pay a little bit of a premium as well on this property. All right, let's take a look at the pictures real quick. It looks like a new build, so that's nice. Probably impact windows, which would be really awesome. Okay, what's up with that land in the back? That'd be nice if it's ours too. Yeah, I mean, on the inside, it's gorgeous. It's ready to rent, turnkey property. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, they even include the washer and dryer. Little garage, all right. You know, for my friends in Miami, everybody talks about making an efficiency. Well, you could probably make an efficiency out of this garage. All right, cool. So let's look at the guts of this deal. I'm interested. It's in Miramar, Florida. Okay. New 2026 construction duplex in the greater area of Miramar. Each side is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with 1-car garage. Each unit has its own water meter, and FPL meter. Large open floor plan with modern kitchen, tile throughout, and each unit has its own laundry room. Hurricane impact windows and doors, all appliances included. property will be fenced in prior to closing. 1 year builder warranty included. No association fees. Nice. All right. So each one is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. They don't, I mean, if I were them, I would just put how much I think I could get in rent there, and then I would back it up with rental comps. But what we know, it's in Broward County, guys. It's in Miramar. Depends what kind of area in Miramar we're talking about. But on average, in Broward County, a 3-2 could go for $2,700. I think that this is a product that's brand new. Okay, so I could give them, I would say like $2,750. Okay, you might be able to get higher than that. But if each side rents out for $2,750, okay, this deal does not make any sense whatsoever. If this deal rented out for, man, it's a 3-2 on each side, and it's a nice size 3-2. I don't know, man. I have a 3-2. It's in Hollywood. It's a good area of Hollywood. It rents out for $3,100. Okay, they're renovated. Let's say that this got that amount of money, $3,100 each side. Okay, on the DSCR, you would be looking pretty good. Okay, you would get, I think, funding for this, and that's, I think, what this guy is going for here, that somebody could get and, you know, barely scratch by with some funding, but it wouldn't be a great deal overall. Now, here's where I was saying I wanted to wait for a deal to be at least borderline good for us to look at, okay, because these are estimating pretty high rents here. But let's look at the difference. If what Grant Cardone says that rates are going to drop to a 4.5, what that would make for this deal. Mind you guys, right now, if you bought this using FHA, if FHA would even allow you to because the price is so high, okay, you would not see cash coming out of this property for 12 years, okay? But if rates drop to a 4.5, watch what happens, guys. Watch what happens when I press enter here. 6 years. It cuts your time in half, okay? Cuts your time in half. Now, what's going to happen, okay, if rates drop to this point, to 4.5, this guy is not going to want $900,000 for this house anymore. He's going to want $1 million, $1.2 million, $1.1 million, something. He's going to want a lot more money, right, for it, because he knows that now there's going to be a line of buyers coming out to get this property. So what you do is you buy it now and then you refinance, right, as soon as this war is over. I mean, we're going to win this war, right? We're going to win this war. And what happens is rates are going to come back down. So we're going to want to stimulate the economy. The money, the government, regardless of who's in power, is going to want to print money, okay? If Trump leaves office and there's a Democrat there, they're going to blame Trump. They're going to print money. They're going to blame Trump again. It's just the way that things are going to happen. And you want to be able to have the house under your control and not have to bid for it, okay, when those prices do drop. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm currently refinancing my properties so I could pull cash out and reinvest right now before the interest rates drop, mind you. Okay, so talk to your financial advisor, talk to your real estate agent, what their recommendation might be. Just telling you guys what I'm going to do. All right, with that being said, this property for me is still a no, even if interest rates were to drop and this property all of a sudden got really nice, because even at 4.5, it's going to take you 6 years, right? 6 years to see a penny come out of this property. And if you've been watching the channel just in this last week, you know that we've seen deals that are way better than this, way better than this. So for that reason, this property for me, from like A to F, this property is a D. We're just going to go ahead and we are going to discard this property. And that's another fail. 4 out of 5 properties failed today. Let's see if we saved the best for last. Let's see if this last one makes any sense whatsoever, guys. Okay, we're in Miramar, and this looks, yeah, this is a duplex. Okay, let's look at here. $700,000 is what they want for it. Whoops. They're currently paying $9,682 in taxes. Excuse me. The duplex is a total of 2,598 square feet. It's probably 2 3-bedroom, 2 baths. Okay. Let's take a look at the pictures. We already saw one. The color is so 1990s when I was a little kid. Yep, and the inside looks like it too. So, yeah, maybe even 80s. Yikes. Okay, but the good thing is that it's easy. I mean, the floors, you could get away with these floors. Yeah. Yeah. Just needs a little bit of updating, one of them. The other one needs a bit of work. Okay, but they're rentable. I mean, they're not terrible. You could rent this out probably the moment that you get it. Let's see the guts of this deal. Okay, they say well-located two-story townhouse, duplex style, generating, can generate $4,700 a month. Each side has kitchen, living room, and half bath, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So it is actually, guys, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1/2 bath, okay, at $2,350. So $2,350. So the $4,700 that they say that you know the property could produce, and for that reason, guys, this property is another big fat fail for us. Okay, it's not going to produce enough money for you guys to see a dime hit your bank unless you buy this cash. Okay, you could buy this using DSCR and you would see a little bit of cash flow, just a tiny bit. But again, there's way better deals out there. How would this property make sense? How would this property make sense? Okay, this guy would have to drop this price to $550. Okay, and it starts making some sense. It's not like a home run hit. Okay, because mind you, the interest rates there are still at 4.5, and the reality right now is we're at 6.38. Okay, so 13 years for it to cash flow, and that's dropping the price already $150,000, which we know that this guy's not going to drop his price to 100 by 150 grand. He'll probably leave the market before he does that, but you never know, guys. So I would say this for any property, and we didn't see any today, right? For any property that we see in the orange, right, especially if it's in the half, the less part of the orange, I would say that's a property worth tracking, right? What did we see when we started the show? We saw that for every house that gets listed, another house is having a price drop. So statistically, what that tells us is that we're going to see at least one price drop per house, right? Per house that's coming onto the market right now, we're seeing at least one price drop. So if a property is close to making sense, we just want this prop. We really like it. We all go out, we see it, we really like it. We can see a future in it. Then we know that all we got to do is wait this guy out a little bit, right? We wait the guy out. We keep showing up. We keep sending in the offer saying like, hey, dude, let's close. Like I'm pre-approved, or I got cash, quick close, right? I like the property. I could finish my inspection quickly, right? And close on this. You never know, guys. If this property like initially was listed, let's say at, I don't know, at the 550 that I said, right? And there are properties that we've seen in this last week where the investometers, the meters here, are basically what you're seeing right now, like a 0.85 on the 1% rule, a 1.2 on the DSCR, right? If the house was originally listed this way, then it could be reasonable to say that maybe this guy, all we got to wait him out is another $100,000 drop, right? Another, maybe not even that, maybe another $50,000 drop, because at 500,000, this property is all of a sudden looking really good, right? It's less than 10 years to cash flow FHA, right? The DSCR, any bank would lend, almost any bank would lend on this property, okay? You would get really good rates at 1.26 DSCR rate, all right? And if the rates were to drop to a 4.5 in the future, you'd be cash flowing in this baby before 5 years if you bought this FHA. And if you bought it even using 20% down payment, you'd be cash flowing on day one, okay? But unfortunately, this guy is way too far off the mark. I don't think that this guy will ever come down enough where this deal would make sense. And for that reason, this last property in Miramar, this last duplex in Miramar selling for $700,000 is also a big fat no. And we're left with no properties today that are even close to being a deal, guys. but that's the way the cookie crumbles. All right, that's what we have for today. So with that being said, let's see what hits the market tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. A lot of agents like to list their properties on Sunday. Okay, so hopefully we could find a deal then. All right, guys. If any of you have any questions, any suggestions, please leave it in the comments. I read those every day, and I